these are all the lovely balls of yarn that Lotte has chosen to crochet back to a canvas that she's embroidered. And just zoom into the gorgeous array of colours there. She's currently working with the purple. Let's come up and you can see she's just finishing off a row. That's the Patch de Fleur de Lis 2 is the canvas she's embroidered. I don't know if you can see that, but it's by DMC, and it's just a regular tent stitch. And what she's doing, I don't know if I show you on the end here, she has crocheted as if it's right sides together. So this is the raw edge just here, and she's crocheted into the canvas to join it to avoid having to sew extra. And then if I work back, you can see she's just finished that row now, and she's going to hook it into the canvas to finish. What she has created is an anchored stitch edge, which is actually like a chain stitch. Let me just try and see if I can focus on the very edge. There's a chain stitch there. And she's just hooking in, and has just knotted off and is cutting off. Zoom back in so you can see how she starts. So she's hooked a thread in, tying it to the previous row. What will happen is those loose threads she'll weave them into the canvas so they don't flap about, and extra secure because the thread is a single knitting yarn. For a knitting machine, it is quite fragile. So the size of hook is, what is the size?
2.5.
2.5 hook.
Or 1.3.
Oh.
Or just to get in the
just
edges.
To get it in, yeah.
It's a different stitch because it's a thinner yarn.
Okay, do you know the name of the stitch?
I actually don't. It's just a regular woodland and a space.
You're just crocheting into the space, hooking in, hooking up, wrapping around and pulling through.
All the others are just one into the space, but this one's two because of how thin it is. It'd look a bit weird if it wasn't.
So hooking in, wrapping round, wrapping again and then pulling it through and then back in. What my daughter and I have both realised is that the English crochet, the terminology is very different from the American terminology, and
And Spanish.
And
I thought it's Spanish crochet.
And the Spanish crochet is different. So we get to the point where we forget the name of the stitches. We just
do them.
Just do them. So if you are in the habit of following a pattern, just double check where the languages come from. I've also discovered that it's easier to follow the visual outline drawings that some pattern makers give, because sometimes I can't always interpret the stitch, the name of the stitch, to what I know as a British stitch, and so therefore sometimes the line diagrams, you can work it out.
Or just I think I saw just a photo of this one. It wasn't actually a pattern or anything. It's quite a basic stitch, so.
But if I just show you how the colours all interlock. Beautiful. Right, here's the cushion. You may remember that she'd started to embroider. She'd been crocheting it in the last bit of the video, or the earlier part of this video, and she's now managed to sew all these ends in, meticulously sew it in. And that will form. She's going to pull it through for us. Oh, for those of you who are actually wondering what the noise is in the background, that's her 3D printing machine, and I can share some more things about that. She's been creating some useful aids for me to teach machine embroidery. And I do think that is beautiful. So a tapestry on the front that she purchased in the craft shop in March. The actual town of March, not the month of March. And then this is the beautiful crocheted back.
It's DMC pattern.
DMC, and it's got like the flap
To help hold the cushion.
hold the cushion. Lovely.
When I find a cushion that fits.
And just showing you what Lottie's up to. She's busy embroidering a piece of artwork. I'll just zoom in. All the lovely threads. They look so yummy. And it's, I believe it's based on a manga. Is it manga, Charlotte?
No, it's an anime.
Oh, anime image. And
Two women.
here we go.
It's not printed very well.
So that's the type of thing my daughter gets up to. Lottie's going to create a crocheted bag, and this is going to be part of it. And I don't know if you can see. Gently move in. Oh, make sure it's still in focus. And you should be able to make out there's some holes in it. So she can attach her crochet to it. Though I have said, I do believe it will make a beautiful embroidery. So you could actually sew into those. So I'm going to ask her to make me one, and I'm going to play with it and do some embroidery on it, a bit more creative. If this inspires you, or you're interested in something like this, then let us know. But hopefully we'll be able to show you what we create. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch up with you again soon.